Welcome, everyone, to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet. Hope everybody's having a great day today. We've got Dr. James Kneller in the green room today. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks. Stoked to be here.
And we have Lisa Savale. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we're so excited. This is going to be a great show because we are all going to be learning so much about how to improve our energy and our health. And right now with COVID, I think, our nutrition, our health and wellness is so important. So Dr. James, can you start out with why our energy is so important?
Our energy is so important because this is our quality of life. Everybody wants good energy so they feel well and have the best experience possible.
I think that I have great energy.
You have great energy.
She runs on many cylinders. I will.
You see me early in the morning.
Yes.
No, and then she's also an insomniac. I remember from back when I was in high school, she would be up at 5 a.m. Doing stuff. I'd be like, how are you not asleep right now? But yeah, her energy is endless. It's impressive. So
protege, star pupil, but you came with a great background. We had a lot to work with.
That's right. So let's get started here. What is the number one, if you're going to give us one most important tip to help us increase our energy and our positive energy, what can we do?
Wow, one tip, I would filter water. I would have a reverse osmosis filter to get rid of fluoride. I think we're accumulating toxins, and these are going to be devastating to us now and later on in life.
Wait,
I would nip that in the bud right off the bat.
While we were talking about her insomnia, how important is sleep?
Sleep is so important.
Yeah, because I hear differing viewpoints on this. I hear some doctors that say, sleep is absolutely vital to live a long, healthy life. And then I've seen some studies that say people that get less than 7 hours of sleep live longer. So it's there's kind of different viewpoints on it a little bit. But, in general, I know that, more sleep is considered healthier.
Oh, absolutely. And that deep sleep in the middle of the night, between midnight and 3, 4 o'clock in the morning is absolutely critical. That's when you want to be completely zonked out. I agree. Not everyone needs 7 or 8 hours. 6 or 5 can even be fine. But those critical hours sort of between midnight and 4 are really the most important.
Okay,
I hope you're listening. Okay. I feel like sometimes you sleep 3 or 4 hours. And how are you up?
So, this is really funny that Chet's saying this because when he was in high school and then when he'd come home from college and he was still, he lives on his own now, but when we lived together, he was partying and I would wake up because I'd hear all the kids partying and then he'd say, why are you awake?
What do you mean?
Well, it's when
I was 21? No, when I was 21,
it's because the music was pounding.
No, sometimes you would come back after us. I would be asleep in bed and then you would come home with your friends and wake me up. I'd be like,
that's true sometimes, but most of the times you were
role
up with
reversal.
Your friends.
Yeah.
In fact, one night I woke up to the house on fire, and I'm not going to tell you the details. There were some kids making out on the sofa. Not kids. I mean, they were in their early 20s, making out on the sofa. I'm not going to go there. What more was happening there? But literally, there was a fire, and the house was filled with smoke. And Chet was sound asleep.
John left the ravioli on the stove. I'll call him out because he might be listening. John's been on the show before, actually. So, yeah.
So, anyway.
Great trainer, but don't trust him to cook your ravioli. He will burn your house down.
Sleep. I do love to sleep. So, Doc, sleep is important, and I do love sleep.
Absolutely.
So, don't listen to Chet, okay?
We're out. Caution with Chet, always.
So, Lisa, do you have a question for the doctor?
I do. So, if we're to eliminate fluoride, what do you brush your teeth with?
What do you brush your teeth with? That is important.
That's a good question.
Fluoride in your toothpaste. Interestingly, if you read the warning label on your toothpaste, it will say, if you swallow 1 serving of this, you should call poison control. So if you read your, say your Colgate tooth box, for example, toothpaste box. So it has that warning. FDA mandates that warning because we know that fluoride is a known neurotoxin. Now, it turns out that probably the most important fluoride that our teeth can have is, in fact, topical fluoride. So the fluoride that's in your mouth while you brush your teeth is absorbed into your tooth, and that's helps you with healthy teeth. And that's probably far more important than systemic fluoride, which is the fluoride we're getting for our drinking water inadvertently, for example. So be very careful to rinse and spit.
And I didn't know that.
Thoroughly rinse and spit.
Sometimes I'm in
it's
such a
very
hurry.
Important.
So are there fluoride-free toothpaste alternatives that are good for your teeth, or should we try to, or like what would you recommend?
I use a fluoride-free toothpaste most of the time, but my dentist had told me I should have some fluoride exposure as well. So trusting that medical professional
but if we
opinion, I
rinse-
do use fluoride toothpaste at times, but I do it very carefully.
Okay.
Make sure you get that out of your mouth. And
But if we
don't
rinse,
swallow
are we
anything.
okay?
I think you're okay if you rinse. Yeah, very small molecule. Rinse thoroughly, gargle and spit. You're good.
So if all these years, if we've been leaving a little bit of residue in our mouth, what's happening to us?
So that fluoride is getting into your gut, it's getting into your bloodstream. Fluoride is incorporated into bone in our bodies, okay? So most of it goes into skeletal bone, which has limited blood supply, so we don't accumulate a lot, but it does accumulate over time, the fluoride in our bones. Also accumulates in our teeth, which helps make our teeth, like our bones, stronger. An important thing that we've been missing in this process is that fluoride will also accumulate in your pineal gland.
Pineal gland.
The
You've been talking about this pineal
little
gland.
tiny gland in the middle of your brain, controls your sleep-wake cycle, has the capacity.
Control sleep. You might have a buildup.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head right there.
So one more question. Do you rinse then with the filtered water, or do you just use tap water?
I filter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's a great question,
That
too.
is a very important question.
Very important question. So I know you feel that water is so important with our energy.
Yes.
And specific kinds of water. Can you tell us what that would be?
So very specific kinds of water. I think of 4 properties of water that we want to be very careful about. First of all, we want to ensure that our water is pure, that it doesn't have impurities. It's pure H2O water, then with a few electrolytes that are important, but get all of the toxins out. And really, carbon filters are very good, but what you need as part of your filtration process is a reverse osmosis filter. That's what's going to take the fluoride and other molecules that are very, very small and toxic out of your water. So first thing is purity. Second thing to think about with your drinking water is pH, and we want very strongly alkaline water to be drinking, unless you have some strange medical condition that may prohibit that. pH of 8.5 to 10, for example, is great for water because that can transiently change your blood pH, makes it more alkaline, and if nothing else, that tends to inhibit cancer cells throughout our bodies. Cancer cells prefer a very acidic environment, and if you can shock them every now and then with a more alkaline environment, we could be, for example, suppressing cancer growth in our bodies that we would never have known about. So I think about the alkalinity. A hot new topic that's also very important is hydrogen water. We want our water to be hydrogen water.
Chet, did you hear that? Hydrogen water.
Hydrogen.
Yeah.
You want to think about the hydrogen
Heard it.
content of your water. And there's electrolysis machines that can create hydrogen water. There are also tablets that you can drop into water that will then create hydrogen water. And we're learning that hydrogen, being one of the very smallest molecules on our periodic table, it's like 2 protons. It's so tiny, and it's electrically neutral, H2. It will go everywhere in your body. And what it does is it acts like a second messenger for multiple cellular systems throughout our body, meaning when they see the hydrogen, they're signaled to come to life and do other things that's important for us. Throughout your body is hydrogen. So this is a little bit of a fad topic right now that everyone's kind of getting into hydrogen water. It's something I've discovered, honestly, within the last 6 months, but I'm finding it's very important. And for nothing else, studies show that if you give this to athletes, they tend to perform longer in sports and they tend to have clearer thinking while they're performing. So it's improving athletic performance and mental clarity, for example. But then if you have hydrogen water that's prepared correctly, for example, it will also alter your gut flora, bias your gut flora towards a very anaerobic flora. Your gut should be at least 95% anaerobes, even closer to 99%. And if you can achieve that, the anaerobes also produce a lot of fluoride. So you're like, well, why don't we get this naturally? Well, we do when our gut flora is right, which probably it did when we were indigenous people, but we've often tampered with our gut flora and lost that. And as a result, we've lost the protective benefits of hydrogen. So I think about hydrogen. And as a final property of water, we have to think about the information content of water. Water can hold memory of past molecules. So where did your water come from? Well, it was flushed down someone's sink at one point. Does it remember the molecular structure of their medications? And are you being exposed to their medications even though there's no molecule of medication in the water as you drink that? That's an example. So some studies have shown, for example, that if you have an assembled DNA molecule and the water is exposed to the memory of that DNA, that if you then remove the DNA and put original illegal molecules, the substrates of DNA into that water, that DNA will reconstruct itself in the water because of the memory that exists. So very important to think about the frequencies that our waters have been exposed to and the moods. Water should be exposed to love and peace and happiness, and then it's better for you. Or you can expose to specific frequencies that can combat specific disease processes, for example, or at the Schumann resonance frequency of 8.7 hertz. That's important for our health. And you can start to take on the benefits of healthy frequencies through your water. So purity, alkalinity, hydrogen, and frequency content.
So how do you feel about Evian water, Voss water, Dasani water? Are those not good? You recommend a different kind of water?
I mean, so bottled water. Some are
Yes.
some are very good, and
I've heard
some
bad
are
things about Dasani, actually. I've
Yes.
heard that they put sodium in it that's actually not a good electrolyte, and then I heard it's like not filtered that well too. So Dasani's actually the one to avoid, from
Yeah.
what I've heard.
I've heard that too. I've never tested it myself.
Oh, yeah, me neither. I haven't done the lab tests on
Yeah.
it.
So you can put your own pH
don't
meter
sue
in
me,
and you
Dasani.
can see. But I think basically if you want a glass of bottled tap water, you can get a Dasani, for example. And some of the other ones are much higher quality.
So
like
give
a
us the
Fiji
top
water
five that you
and-
think
Yeah.
we should drink. What are the top five?
Oh shoot, I think you've mentioned some of them.
Voss, I know that's in a glass.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I think that's alkaline. I don't know the bottled waters that well, honestly.
So
Fiji water has gotten a lot of positive press, and I think a lot of NBA players, kind of as a voodoo thing, insist on drinking Fiji water during their games because they think that's particularly uniquely hydrating.
So if we just have a water filtration system on our, in our kitchen sink, is that water good enough?
It is good enough. Just make sure it has all of the components. And
Okay.
it gets a little bit complex. I mean, you want a 2-carbon filter system. You really want that reverse osmosis system. And then if you can get one that changes alkalinity, that's icing on the cake.
So
These
you're a
those are
concierge.
hard for home systems, but it can be done.
So as a concierge doctor, will you come and test my water?
I will come and test your water, or I will find someone who really knows about water to come and test it for both of us. And then I'll tell you what we're going to do about that water.
Okay, that sounds good. So tell us a little bit about your background, Doc. Dr. James Kneller MD, that loves your social media presence.
Yeah.
You have your website and all. Tell us about you.
Okay, so here in Phoenix, I'm a cardiologist, electrophysiologist. I am practicing with the Heart and Vascular Center of Arizona. We have downtown office right next to Banner University and in the West End at Banner Estrella Hospital on that hospital complex. We're seeing patients in both locations, and then we hold faculty titles at University of Arizona and practice at Banner University Medical Center as well. So that is my official role. I'm a heart rhythm specialist. This is what I'm passionate about in the real world, and I treat cardiology patients, broad spectrum of cardiology patients, but really my sweet spot is the heart rhythm issues. So we are accepting new people here in Phoenix this early. If you would like to schedule with us, 602-307-0070. Call our office, ask for Dr. Kneller. We will get you in. Tell them I said so on InTheGreenRoom.Green.
And
We will make
also,
room.
tell them about how you're doing private concierge and you're having a doctoring for private,
Yes.
people that don't want to go into the office.
So one of the frustrations that patients have and that we have as doctors is that we have to move people so quickly. And medical problems are complex. People need more time. They deserve more time. This is the way medicine used to be practiced, but we have to move people very rapidly, and that can become a source of frustration for everybody. And then the other thing that we deal with are levels of motivation. Not every patient who comes to me wants the full meal deal. They don't want to be completely healthy. They just manage my cardiology issue. Thank you very much. And I'm not interested in other things, but for those of us who specialize in health and in the human body, we would like to have those individuals that we really lead to complete health. We'll solve your cardiology issues, but we'll also help you attain peak performance and maximal health. And it's nice to work with those highly motivated individuals. And in those circumstances, I do offer private consulting concierge services.
Okay, that's what I
to
meant.
help people work through the process of transforming their health regimen.
So you'll go over their medical records and maybe oversee what the other doctors are doing and kind of give them advice. Is that?
That's the role we like to be in.
Nutrition.
Look over things, make sure we agree, things aren't being overlooked, and then without infringing on anyone else's doctor-patient relationship, because we respect those, then we work on other aspects of health.
Do
And
you do house calls?
we would be willing to do health scores.
See, isn't that great? I mean, when you're not feeling good, you don't really want to get in your car and go get exposed to all these other germs. So Dr. Kneller will come to your house and take care of you and test your waters.
Test your water.
Chet?
Well, I had a question because you said your specialty is like related to heart rhythms, and I love like pre-workouts and energy drinks for before I work out, but they definitely have a crazy effect on heart rate and like vascularity. Like it makes my veins like pop out, but they have crazy results though. Like I put on like a few inches onto my arms once in like a month because I was like, regularly drinking these energy drinks. They're called C4s. They have like beta alanine and like a few of those vasodilators. So they really make your veins expand.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of caffeine.
Yes.
But so yeah, how bad are they? Because they're fun for working out, and like I'll be like in the gym for 2 hours, and normally I usually would only work out for like 1 hour. So is there enough added benefit from working out that much more, or is it bad for your heart rhythm? I don't know. It's a kind of a multifaceted question, but I feel like it definitely affects your heart's rhythm.
Oh, absolutely. The energy drink. So professionally, I should discourage anyone from using too much energy drink
Good,
because
because I don't think he should drink it.
we see the problem cases where people come in and their heart's crazy out of control or their blood pressure's through the roof, and that is not healthy, regardless of how it's benefiting your workouts. But for you, say who's young and healthy and you're already an athlete, I think having a little bit to sort of get that edge and go the extra distance in a hard workout is probably acceptable.
Just probably don't make it a regular thing then.
Yeah, and don't be pounding them down and intervals in between. Don't be using them when you're not having that workout for sure.
All right, cool. Good to know. And then what about other types of caffeine? Because I know I have some friends and family members that are like straight up coffee addicts. And, they
Who
need,
is that?
Well, Rachel, for one.
Oh, yeah, she drinks a lot of coffee.
She needs like a
I thought you were
double
talking to me.
espresso every day. No, Rachel. No, yeah. She'll be like, I'll be like, let's go get some water. And she's like, coffee first. I'm like, no. Priorities.
She does drink a lot of coffee.
What about other forms of caffeine? Do they affect your heart rhythm on a regular rate, or are everyday coffee drinkers, like, do they have nothing to worry about in that department?
Yeah, I think coffee is a topic you have to be a little bit careful about, and the data's mixed, and I think that's because high quality coffees and low quality coffees have been studied. The cardiology literature, as I understand it, is a little bit biased towards coffee intake right now. Probably not in excess, but maybe 2-3 cups a day is probably a good amount. And if you choose a really high quality coffee, that coffee bean does provide a lot of antioxidants, which are typically beneficial for your cardiovascular system. Again, I wouldn't raise yourself up high on caffeine and pound it out all day, because then you start to lose heart rate variability and probably run your blood pressure a little bit high. But perks during the day, the cardiology literature, as I understand it, is receptive to this, and we're noting the strong antioxidant properties of very good coffee beans. Mm-hmm. Other ones can have mold and they start to get toxins, and so you have to be careful you're drinking cheap coffee.
So it's basically good in tandem if you already have a healthy lifestyle going.
Yeah, let's put it that way.
Yeah, okay.
How about teas?
Yes, teas. I think we have to be careful with teas, how they're grown, because I think some of them can incorporate heavy metals and things of that nature. Certainly a high-quality green tea is really favorable for the cardiovascular system.
Oh, green tea?
Yeah.
I love green tea.
I do too.
Okay, good. We can have that?
Be a little careful with your black teas. You got to be really careful about where they're coming from. So I think every tea bag on the supermarket shelf is not equivalent, and some of them that are grown cheaply probably may be introducing toxins that you don't want to be exposed to.
Okay.
But a good quality green tea, I think the cardiovascular benefits are absolutely there.
Great question. What about organic versus non-organic? Because, some people say, oh, it's kind of a fad. How do you feel about us eating organic foods?
Yeah, organic. I mean, it's smart to eat organic. And there's lists of foods that you really must eat organic, like strawberries, for example, because the level of, they're exposed to 15 pesticides to grow them completely if it's not organic. And those pesticides, it's not like it's sitting on the surface of the strawberry and you can just wash it off and it's not there. It gets incorporated into the substance of the fruit. So wash it as all you like. You're going to be ingesting toxins with those fruits and vegetables.
There's a dirty dozen.
They're in the dirty dozen. So that's one that you really want to focus on, organic. And there's a few things that to grow them, they really don't require any pesticides. So that one, you may not need to buy organic. I don't know that list off the top of my head. the easy thing to do is to be consistently organic.
Okay, so red meat. You're a heart doctor. How often should we be eating red meat versus not? Should we be pescatarian, eating more fish, Mediterranean style? What diet do you want us to be on?
Good question. So, I mean,
That was really good.
so I think of red meat as a treat if you have a taste for it. Fish is better. Again, you want
Chet.
Well, have you heard about the carnivore diet fad?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's like
there's some
basically-
amazing examples of success.
Yeah, there are like some rare cases, but from what I've heard, the doctors that have I've heard comment on it say they think those people are basically like a genetic anomaly where their digestive system is totally geared towards meat. And that's not an approach that would work for most people. For those who don't know, carnivore diet are people that it's a diet where people are just only eating animal proteins, mostly red meat and eggs and chicken, were like the main food groups. But there were some people that were like literally just shedding fat and were in the best shape of their lives, went and got their blood tested, had normal cholesterol levels, I think a little bit higher levels of fat than normal, but I heard of several cases where the people didn't have elevated cholesterol, which was basically almost disproving all the rumors about meat and red meat in general. But
What do you think about
there's
that,
not
Doc?
enough research on it for it to be proven or not, but it's just an interesting
I think it's a
perspective that
hoax.
some people have.
I think it's a hoax. It's fake news. Fake news, as Trump would say.
If you want to slim down,
Erase that.
you can eat only red meat, and you kind of put your body into a state of ketosis, and you will burn everything else you'll burn all your fat stores, and you will look nice and chiseled and lean and mean. And in that state of ketosis, you can have extreme mental clarity. It's almost like you're fasting in the desert or something. And those people can feel really great and be very high performing as a result. And when someone's having that kind of success, it's hard to argue against them, honestly. Like I say to marathon runners who show up in my office in their 70s and 80s, what was your goal in training? Did you want to be the best athlete you could be at that time, and clearly you were, or were you going for longevity? Or when people start talking about training for marathons, do you want your knees to still be working well for you at 7 and 80? Then maybe you should think about not running a marathon. But if your goal is to be in the best shape possible right now, go ahead and train for your marathon, but just think about these things down the road. And so I would suggest moderation in that regard. For people only eating the animal products, you'd have to really insist on quality. You'd have to really insist on how you're cooking the meat, because if it's getting charred or burnt, for example, we know that these are carcinogens. You're taking cancer-causing molecules into your body, and that's dangerous. So you'd have to be fastidious about the meat selection and the way you prepare it, for sure. I would be worried that over time you wouldn't have all the micronutrients that you need, the fiber that you need, the things that your gut is going to be looking for. In the long run, maybe you're going to be predisposed to cancers way down the road that you didn't think you were.
Part of the diet they were taking a few supplements that were giving them vitamins and I think chlorophyll, some stuff they would normally be getting from vegetables and fruits to supplement some of that. But I haven't tried it personally, but my diet regularly is basically a lot of healthy meats and then fruits and vegetables. That's kind of just what I do. And then I eat a lot of desserts too. So I'm not perfect.
So what's up?
And I drink a lot of tequila, but
He does love tequila.
That's supposed to help.
that's my secret, honestly. Yeah.
So, Chet, have you heard of those blue zones where where people are living over 100 years old?
And so-
Okinawa,
So what are they
Japan
eating?
is the number one place where people live the longest. I think they have the most centurions, people
Yes.
over 100.
Yes.
So
They
what's in
eat-
common? They eat Mediterranean style.
They're eating Mediterranean style. They're not exposed to toxins. They are exercising throughout their lives, kind of this low grade, constant physical activity. Like a Japanese person. I mean, I read the book. It's been a while. It's a great book in the Blue Zones with, I think, Bruce Butler.
We could do a whole show about that.
Right. So I think the Okinawans, for example, they don't have furniture. So they sit on the floor. That means if you're 80 and 90, several times a day, you're getting up and down off the floor. And if you continue to do that and you maintain yourself and your ability to do that, you are going to maintain a certain amount of core strength and fitness going into old age, where the rest of us crashing on the couch aren't going to be doing that naturally as part of our daily routine. Right?
It's so accurate that a lot of it is cultural. Because
Yes.
here there's so many people that are 45 or 50 that couldn't get up properly with that kind of core strength off the ground.
Right.
You see it every day inside of Walmart or wherever you are. But
We have to practice this at
Right.
dance.
we need to get more fit as a culture and
every week.
start rewarding fitness. And I don't know. people should be rewarded for being fit. I think that needs to come back.
Yeah.
Okay, so Doc, toxins, toxins that we have like in our hair products or our paint, how does that affect our health? And then Lisa here sells toxic-free paint at her store. I'm going to plug her store. What is your store called?
Savale.
Savale.
And we're right in the heart of Old Town Scottsdale. We're right next to Grimaldi's. If you want pizza, just come in to our store. But we have Jolie Paint, which is no VOCs. It's a mineral-based paint, and it's water-based. And so you can use it everywhere. You can use it on floors. It sticks to everything, and you don't have to prime or sand. It is awesome. It's a decorative paint.
And beautiful colors.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about that, Doc? Do you think that's important?
I think that's very important. Absolutely important. I mean, we are bombarded by chemicals and industrial pollutants that are all around us, and it is our job to try to escape from these things, whether they're in our water. And think of your or in paint that we're touching, fabric that we're wearing that have these PFOAs or PFAS chemicals, these forever chemicals that are fluoride laden and highly toxic. I mean, this was the subject of the movie Dark Waters, and it's been proven that 99% plus of Americans have PFAS in their blood, and it ain't going nowhere, and our water tables are contaminated. We have to think about this and be very vigilant about toxins for sure.
And our cleansers, shouldn't we be cleaning with like vinegar instead of 409?
For like fruits and vegetables?
Well, when you're cleaning your house.
Oh, yeah. Natural cleaners for sure. Biodegradable, natural things like vinegar, I completely agree with, rather than just adding chemicals to chemicals in the name of cleanliness. Think of your skin as a porous sponge that absorbs everything rather than an impermeable barrier. We think that because water rolls off our skin, everything rolls off our skin. No, stuff in water, stuff in creams, it's all going right into our skin, right into our bloodstreams. You're a porous sponge. Keep that mental model in mind. So, even if you're drinking all that wonderful water, do you have a whole house filter for your shower water, or at least a little shower filter mounted on your shower head to remove the chlorines and chloramines? As you take your hot shower, they evaporate. You breathe them in, toxic to your lungs. People develop pulmonary fibrosis by taking hot showers, for example. In our polluted world, it contributes. Obviously, not everybody, but these disease conditions happen.
Chet, do you have a water filter in your shower?
No.
At your place?
Apparently I need one. But
we'll have to get the silky smooth. What's the water?
Stroman
Waters.
Yeah, you
Waters.
need to work on that.
Silky
Something
smooth
might be
waters.
affected. You might have a buildup of fluoride in your pineal.
Pineal
gland. But anyways, we're talking about toxins, and almost every day for the weather in Phoenix, and most other cities in the United States now, it says horrific air quality, basically don't go outside. And obviously that's not an option, and none of us want to wear like a bubble boy suit. So I don't know, what are we supposed to do? Move into the woods?
That's a good question,
because there's hazardous air quality warnings on the daily now, and everybody just gets used to it. We're just like, oh, who cares? But
no, that's a good point. I see it all the time, and this is not nearly the worst place we've been. That's a subject that's being studied by folks I studied cardiology with in New York, New York University, for example. They're studying the effects of microparticles and pollution on cardiovascular disease, and these things are being quantified. And they can do it in a city like New York, which has intense levels of pollution at times. But Phoenix is, of course, the same issue, and we need to insist on public policy that helps control emissions. Ultimately, that's what we got to do, because it gets locked in between the mountains and in thermal inversions in the air, and this is the air we're breathing, and it's not easy on us. So what we can do while we petition the politicians and,
vote for people that believe in climate change. Don't
How
vote
about
for
people who believe in climate
Dr.
change and
James.
climate integrity.
Dr. James for mayor. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. I'll be mayor. No,
You're not corrupt.
it's a big
enough.
deal. So then,
you need
in
to
the
be
meantime,
corrupt first. We need to get you shady, and then you could run for office.
then you can run.
Come on.
That was really good.
So
Okay,
antioxidants. We need antioxidants.
So I know it's really important. We discussed this driving here to have meditation and music and just positive energy for our health. I want to talk about that, but first
That's
I'd like to cut to a
great
song.
topic. Yes.
So we're going to talk about that as soon as we have a song. I'm going to leave my spot and give my seat up to our wonderful musician, Isaiah Tilson. Here he is.
Isaiah's in the house. one of our most talented musicians we've ever had in here. How you doing, Isaiah?
Very, very good. How about yourself?
Thriving. Any new music that you've written in the past few weeks? Or
Quite a bit, honestly.
that's exciting. Yeah.
I have a couple things in the works going to be released very soon, so
Ooh.
please stay tuned.
Oh, plug your Instagram and Spotify and SoundCloud, all that for all the listeners.
Yeah, definitely. If
Any
you go
new
to
listener?
IsaiahTilson.com, you can literally just find everything. So
Sweet.
simple and easy. IsaiahTilson.com. We're going to be doing this song called "Fly Me to the Moon." It is a cover, but I do have the license to be able to perform it.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Thank you. Yes, I am. And I'll be releasing this rendition next week on the 16th.
This is it.
Fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Oh, fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Oh, you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Oh, you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. I love you. I love you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and everybody in this room. I love you.
I love you too, Isaiah. It's official. And your voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, anybody that is just hearing Isaiah for the first time, you should go stream his single Candy Coated. It's amazing. And you produced that beat on it too.
Unfortunately, been taken down.
No.
By myself. It's going to be re-released.
Oh, okay.
Eventually this upcoming year.
So there's something exciting to look forward to.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'm bummed that got taken down though. Damn. Yeah. Just a creative flow you wanted to take in a different direction? That's cool. That's cool. Definitely. Can't wait to hear it.
Thank you.
So yeah, do you wanna, or what other song are you gonna play for us today?
This next one is an original. It's called "The Simple Things," and it's kind of around that vibe for sure for Candy Coated.
Oh, awesome!
So it's very chill and nice. I hope you enjoy.
Candy Coated's definitely a little sexual too, though. A little sexual tension in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a good way.
Wherever you want to take it.
It's funny too.
True. All right, the simple things.
This is it.
Oh, love me so tender. Let go, surrender. Feelings rise from center. Forever to remember. I'll never grow tired of being with you. I hold a strong connection to any time spent and all that we do. Simple things just so us approve. Never grow tired of being with you. I hold a strong connection to any time spent and all that we do. Simple things just so us approve. Slow the road into your eyes, all I behold. Doors to unknown, crossing the paths, melding of souls. Course of the free, basic instinct, effortless beauty. As you fallen for me, I've fallen for you. There truly when you love me, so tender. Let go, surrender. My feelings rise from center, forever to remember. I'll never grow tired of being with you. I hold a strong connection to any time spent and all that we do. Simple things just so us approve. I'll never grow tired of being with you. Hold a strong connection to any time spent and all that we do. Simple things just so us approve. Simple things just so us approve. Now let's take a trip, kissing on lips, work down the hips. I'll show you a trick, tighten your grip, drip, deep dive. Where do you wanna arrive? Never deprive, you steal my breath, yet keep me alive. When you love me, so tender, let go and surrender. Feelings rise from center, forever to remember. I'll never grow tired of being with you. Hold a strong connection to any time spent and all that we do. Simple things just so us approve. I'll never grow tired of being with you. Hold a strong connection to any time spent and all that we do. Simple things just so us approve. Simple things just so us approve. Ooh. Might be longer than I thought.
Wow. Song is so smooth and relaxing and groovy at the same time. I love it.
Thank you.
And your vocals complement the beat so well. Did you produce that one too?
I did produce
Wow.
that one, yeah.
So do you record your own samples like that you play, or do you find samples and then write the song with them? How do you do it?
So it really depends what I'm trying to go for. Sometimes if I have a melody in my head, then I'll play it myself on guitar or piano. But also there's this free website that I know of called Looperman, where I can find little samples, like somebody has like some interesting synth pad or something. And you know, you never know what you can find and just put together. So.
Awesome. Well, I love your creativity. I love your songwriting ability.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah. We're lucky we still have you in here and you're not like, you know, on MTV right now or something. Give it a year. But yeah, thanks for coming in. You killed it.
Thank you.
I'd love for you to sing another one. I don't know. Is he going to sing another one now or at the end? At the end, we'll do one more. We'll end with a bang, I guess.
Real quick, I want to plug. I
Oh,
do have
plug everything you need to plug. To go
T-shirts
for it. Shameless.
available.
Oh, I love
Those are really cool.
Just got these made, and I'm almost sold out. So
Are
Get
there
on
any
it.
at the teen center?
Huh?
Are there any at the teen center?
there have been a few people who have bought some.
All
So,
right.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then can you tell our listeners?
Tell us about the Teen Center.
Alice Cooper Solid Rock.
Beat
Teen
me
Center.
to it.
Wonderful place. Actually, that's where I kind of started. Huh? Oh, yeah. That's kind of
Get it up,
where
Isaiah.
I started. Yes. Really going down my musical path and really having positive influences there to help guide me. Very, very thankful to even Lisa's son, Mark, has been such a big brother to me. Very blessed to have been a part of it and still be a part of it to this day. So, Alice Cooper, Solid Rock Teen Center, yes.
So could you tell us like how it got started?
So my husband and Alice are friends, and this is such an awesome story. So they were in Bible study together and stuff, and Chuck actually had a dream, and he said, "I think we're friends for a reason." And so just his connection with celebrities and stuff like that, and they knew they wanted to help teens and everything, and so they said, we need to build teen centers to help kids, because schools were cutting out all the extra programs, art and music and all that, and so they wanted a safe place for kids to go to be able to learn, take dance, music, art. It has all that, and
it really is amazing to think how many different kids it has inspired, and
it has definitely.
Whether they're a world-class talent like Isaiah, or they just picked up some type of instrument or something as a hobby, it can be such a good influence on someone's life.
So
that's
they've
amazing.
always done proof is in the pudding, and so we've had a few people come through that. Isaiah's been a runner-up in that, and we've had Jordan Sparks and tell me
Summer Welsh won it one year, and
Summer
she
Welsh
sings in here all the time.
Yeah.
She's insanely talented. Yeah.
So anyway, it's been really great. A lot of talented kids have come through and come in and help and teach and do workshops and all. So it is really awesome.
Well, that's what this show is all about, talking about good cause. And that's a great one. So, thanks for everything you've done for the Teen Rock Center.
Oh, thank you. So I'm still there every week, and I teach art and piano lessons. And so anyway.
Oh, you still got it then?
No, I don't know about that. But anyway, it is a very fun place to be.
Sweet. Well, Isaiah, what year did you start, playing music at the Alice Cooper's Teen Center?
Roughly when I was about 18.
Okay.
I started getting into music when I was 17. But I found the Rock Teen Center just searching online for a teen center in the area.
But you said that music kind of saved you, like you were at a dark point at that point in your life, right?
Yeah. When I was 17, I was just going down a very destructive path up until that point, and home life wasn't so great either. But really music just saved me, and God really saved me. But that was definitely a gift and a blessing that I've been able to help others, help myself. Talk louder, yes. Thank you, Kinga. I got that chill voice. Just being able to find the Teen Center, just online, trying to find any way that I could connect with anybody, it has really led me to an amazing point of where I am today. So.
Wow. So we've got proof right in the studio right now, all the great things that Alice Cooper's Teen Center has done. Are they still open right now amid COVID or?
Yeah. Okay.
So if there's anybody listening right now who's under 18, or what's the maximum age?
So it's 12 to 20.
12 to 20
is the age group. And they were shut down for a little bit, but, they take temperatures before you get in. You have to come in with a mask.
Oh, yeah, all the precautions.
All the precautions and everything. But absolutely, come get a tour, and you can see what's available there, all the different things that you can do.
I also teach vocal lessons there.
Yes.
So anybody?
Book him.
Yes.
Book him.
Voice of an angel. All right, well, let's get back to talking to Dr. James Kneller wow, we've only got like 10 or 15 minutes left.
Thank you.
We were serenaded for so long.
Time for one more song.
Yeah.
But, so let's jump back in talking about the PFOAs a little bit, because a lot of people don't even know about those. And the fact that they're in basically all tap water that would come out of any faucet. I have a lot of friends that still just say, oh, it's fine, just drink the tap water out of the faucet. It's like, no, you need to do the research. There's dangerous chemicals in basically all water in the U.S. Is that not true?
That is a concern. Some places, obviously, worse than others, but this PFOAs is very interesting and very concerning. What's happened to us? And that's the topic of the movie Dark Waters, starring Mark Ruffalo, and his wife was Anne Hathaway on the movie, and they were retelling the story of a Cincinnati-based attorney who gets roped into representing a farmer from Parkersville, West Virginia, who his cattle are dying. Hundreds of cattle are dying. He's burying them all over his property. People in town are having tumors, having tooth decay, black teeth, things of this nature. Babies are being born with a variety of birth deformities, which are now very characteristic for this. And so this attorney, Robert Bellot, he pursues it, and he is finally able to prove that this is a direct consequence of PFAS, PFOAs, which are perfluorooctanoic acid or perfluoroalkylating substances, which are chemically produced by DuPont Chemical. They're in our water system. They're in Teflon and different fabric products like Gore-Tex, things of this nature, and are highly neurotoxic. It's an 8-carbon molecule structure that has 15 fluoride atoms attached to it. So these are heavily fluoride-dense particles known as forever chemicals, which are industrially produced. They're never going to break down. They'll be with us forever. They're in our water table nationally, some places more than others, where the chemicals are produced. Interestingly, I was visiting North Carolina recently, speaking to a real estate agent, and she was having government-issued water delivered to her house. Very nice house, beautiful neighborhood. And the issue was that a DuPont chemical plant up the stream from her was inadvertently releasing too many PFOAs and it was over standard. So the government was providing water for her.
I read an article that the settlement for that case should have technically paid out to every American because everybody has been harmed by their chemicals that are in, the whole entire country's water supply at this point.
Yes.
So it's actually frustrating that we all didn't get a check in that one because they've got the money to give it to everyone. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I heard that lawsuit was still outstanding. That is an important point because this has been proven to be in the blood of 99% of Americans.
Well, on a positive note, we were going to come back and talk about how your positive energy has an effect on your health. Could we talk about that, Doc?
Yes, positive energy. This is positive emotions. First of all, appreciating the role of emotional content to your health, the actual emotions that you experience, the feelings that you have, and how that impacts on your health. Hot topic, recent, very interesting research on this. I owe my knowledge to Dr. Bruce Lipton, molecular researcher who really discovered many of these things. But in essence, if I can try to state it simply, how a cell behaves and what it becomes and what it produces is a function of the chemical environment that it finds itself in. So change the culture media of the cell and how that cell behaves, what genes it chooses, it selects to reproduce are completely different. So all of our cells are going to reflect the media that they're exposed to. So what media for growth are they exposed to? Well, it's our blood and the nutrition that we eat. But that is infused with a chemical milieu, which is the total blend of hormones that our body is producing.
So there could be dopamine affecting us, or there could be adrenaline.
Right, adrenaline or cortisol, negative stress hormones, deleterious to cells, disease producing, or you can have the dopamines, the serotonins, the vasopressins, things, very positive hormones, influencing your cells and helping them choose what gene products they produce.
And that's why something like love, music, meditation, hiking is so important.
Yeah, so important to feel these things and allow yourself to feel very positive and happy. And absolutely, because we can't do that all the time, we're not Pollyanna, catch yourself when you don't feel positive. When you are feeling negative, say, there it is, I'm gonna catch that, wall that off. I can deal with whatever's making me feel negative while I'm feeling positive. So I'm not gonna allow those negative emotions to resonate inside of me and alter my blood chemistry in a way that is toxic to my body and toxic to my gene expression. All the cells of our body completely turn over every 7 years, and most of them much faster than that. And as they issue the new versions of themselves, they're expressing the genes that they were previously programmed to do. So what we are telling our cells to produce is a constant process of personal evolution, physically in who you are becoming day by day, year by year. Very important to really try to maintain that positive emotional environment within your spirit, within your body, so that your cells are behaving in a way that's most congruent and life producing.
And
And I feel like a lot of people are not, they don't have enough gratitude in their day-to-day life. And that's one of the main reasons why they're really stressed out or unhappy. And it's because they're always seeing people that have a better situation on their social media, on their phone, rather than using their phone to like look at how a lot of people don't have that kind of a perspective. Yeah. And a lot of people don't have the, income to have a smartphone. If you have a smartphone, you're probably in the like top like 20 percentile of wealth.
well, that's why I feel so
Like,
good, because this
Absolutely.
show is
That's a
so
huge point.
positive.
Huge
People,
point.
well, yeah, all these,
The-
I always see people tweeting, eat the rich from my smartphone. Like, oh,
Yes.
you tweeted that from your iPhone. You are one of the rich. Don't you understand that?
Well,
You're in the top 20 percentile if
Can
you've
I
got
say
an
that we're here
iPhone.
saving the planet one
One
show
show
at
at
a
a
time, which is so positive. And I feel good. This makes me feel good because we get to meet all these wonderful people that are doing good for others, like Lisa Savale. I mean, what you've started with the Teen Center is so incredible. And all that music, it heals the soul, makes you feel good. So Doc, are we on the right page here?
We are on the
with
right
what we're
page.
doing, and you're now part of the show. And we're so lucky to have you. We are going to close out with a song, so give us 2 last tips. I'm going to give my chair up to Isaiah Tilson. One more song. We only have a few more minutes, so give us 2 more last tips that you can say. Like, do we need to drink wine? I think we have to drink wine.
That's your tip, I guess. My tip is have gratitude. Appreciate what you have.
I'll echo that. We want to come to a point of gratitude. Find gratitude, and if you slow down and meditate long enough, you'll come to a point of gratitude. And I'll say, bring your meditation to the experience of I am. You want to just slow your thoughts down till you truly experience yourself in the present moment as fully as possible. And as unprofound as that is, I mean, I'm sitting here, I got a little bit of BO, my foot itches. If I can experience myself as fully as possible in the present moment, find my I am, from that position first, you can then launch to feelings of gratitude and feelings that will create the future that you want for yourself.
Love it.